Welcome to Bubba Rob's Journey. Hi everybody, it's Bubba Rob. How's it going? Took a little bit of time off figuring out things to do here because I am somewhat of a critical thinker and I tend to question everything. The one thing that I have found with my journey about questioning things, continually questioning things, about the way we do things in the manner we do. When I started my carnivore journey, it was for health reasons. And I knew it was important for me to have an impact on myself and possibly impact on others. Making a life change is just not as simple as a change in your diet. You know, the diet's really a good start, but there's so much more to it. I keep trying to get this point across, and you know, a lot of the things we need to work on, as far as I can see, is one, our behavioral issues stemming from trauma we've had, poor life choices, poor influences. You know, how has that affected our thought process? And, or, you know, really, how do we or how do we not take responsibility for our actions? You know, like I said, the diet is a good start, but it's pretty much a minor part. You know, when my son got back from university in Japan, we had some very serious discussions on what this channel should really be about. In some ways, I think I've gotten away from it. But one of the things he told me, that there was a generation of young men in his age bracket that were really lost with no type of direction. You know, and I would like to, you know, further that statement. It's not just young men, it's young women. Really everybody. And I don't think it's really necessarily just young people. I think it just goes right across the board. Like myself, I've been reading and studying different diets, different training techniques. I was heavily involved in bodybuilding, powerlifting for quite a while. You know, I know I may not look at. I've studied and watched different types of motivational techniques. I've worked on my own mental health issues, studying philosophy. Some of it was in a formal setting. Some of it was for curiosity, but it was completely for my own personal growth. So I feel I have a fairly well-rounded opinion on the subject, for whatever that's worth. And the biggest problem I've found with people in general, really, is they don't honor their word. They have an issue with showing up on time and really not taking 100% responsibility for their decisions or actions. There really is no magic pill or deity for absolution. Quite frankly, if you as an individual is just a complete asshole, it doesn't happen. You know, about 20 years ago, I was doing a cleaning and hauling job for a retired clinical psychiatrist from Ontario. that did psych assessments for the court system back there. And, you know, for me, I had freshly come from a corrections background. We got into a very interesting discussion and conversation, actually. And I asked them, what was the difference between a psychopath and a sociopath? And the gentleman told me, quite frankly and very astutely, and I'm not, well, I'm kind of paraphrasing, but it's pretty much what he said to me. He said the difference between a sociopath and a psychopath is it's just another fucking asshole who doesn't take responsibility for their behavior because they felt sorry for themselves or for their shitty upbringing. I mean, doesn't this not sound like a familiar trait on how many of us feel about our situations in life? You know, our behavior patterns. Do we blame our consumption of poor quality of food on others, on the government? Do we portray that in what we're putting out there to people in the YouTube universe? Do you think that possibly when you're speaking in that manner and you're feeling sorry for yourself, do you not think it could be promoting or causing a trigger in another? You know, I really kind of wonder about that. You know, it's really sad when I watch videos, and I've pretty much stopped watching most of them, when people are instilling fear in others so that they can gain more views because they find it's interesting, or people love misery or the addiction of it is. I mean, I don't know. I personally really get offended when other YouTube influencers are doing that. You know, it kind of reminds me, is like, is this the Chicken Little syndrome all over again? Is the sky falling? Or is there conspiracies? Or do people want you to feel sorry for them because it's a grift and they can ask you for money so that they can get more equipment for their YouTube channel? I don't know. I find when things like that happen, you're not showing any pride in yourself in a public manner. I mean, when you do that, are you really exuding stability and pride in your message? I don't believe so. What is the example? Or, you know, you're putting yourself out there in the universe. You know, what type of energy are you actually attracting to yourself, to your soul? I don't know. I just find it very distasteful. You know, and I watch. There's some doctors out there that are doing it, and they're rabble-rousing people to get them to pick up some fight or whatever. Or they're humiliating other people, or fat shaming, trying to humiliate vegans or put people down. I don't get it. I really just don't understand how that creates a positive environment or positive community to really influence others. And, you know, what are you really doing to create change? I really believe that creating change is by standing up and being a person and taking control of yourself, your own habits, being kind, having some humility. And when you get knocked down, you get back up and move forward, and you're not necessarily pointing it out to people in a dramatic fashion. You know, how do you really want to be successful? I don't know. I mean, to me, the definition of success is getting yourself up one more time than you've fallen. I've fallen many times. I've done lots of tough things. You know, so I don't know. I mean, what I'm talking about today, I wouldn't say is necessarily meant for, or should say it's actually meant for the consumption of many, not just the carnivore community. I think it's really for everybody. I believe it's my responsibility to reach more people than I have been. Not to be pigeonholed into one genre. I mean, helping others doesn't mean only in your community. Again, it's not about the humiliation of others that don't necessarily think the same way as you. It's not right. Passing judgment. I just find that society really, as a whole, is lacking common sense and decency. I don't know, when was the last time somebody had a good scrap on the school ground to settle their difference and shake hands and get on with life? It doesn't happen anymore. I mean, how are we doing things to find out what we're capable of to be situations, especially if you need to be a man? I don't know. I don't see enough of it. You know, are you a man or a mouse? Right? I don't know. I mean, to me, how can I get respect from others in life if I have no respect for myself with the way I behave? I don't know how people do that. It just blows my mind. You know, we need to be present and deal with our problems. One thing in life is you may be the only one who can smell your stench, but when you don't clean up your shit properly, that smell will always linger. That smell will follow you and stay attached to you like a German Shepherd. You'll always be looking over your shoulders. I told both my kids, they're fine adults now. As I said, if you say you're going to do something, you do it. If you can't do something, you say no. Because you don't want to be that person looking over your shoulder. It's not good. So I know this week I've got some issues I got to deal with, which kind of why I've been in deep thought again. And I didn't really want to put anything out there on YouTube until I felt like I had a message with my mind was clear, was really important. So I really will not be focusing that much on the diet as far as what I put out there as my content. The diet is simple. I've changed a bit. I've added some vegetables. I feel actually quite a bit better by doing that. That may not be popular with people. They might not want to hear it, but I don't really give a shit. I gotta live my life the way I want, myself, how I feel comfortable with, and move on. So that is pretty much my message for today. I hope I didn't ramble too much. I hope you people got something from it. I want everybody to do well. If you like, please hit the like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. Thank you so much. And remember, the most important thing to be a really good person, a good biker, good carnivore, vegan, rainbow warrior, most stoic. The most important thing is to be kind, be respectful. If you don't have any respect for yourself and how you behave, you can be ensuring shit guaranteed that nobody else is going to have any for you either. Okay? Thank you so much. Have a great day.